And we're live. And my microphone's in the way. And I got a backwards hat on today. I'm feeling really spry today, Chris. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
I'm going to make some serious enemies. What's up, people? It's Friday. To me, Friday, Tuesday, Saturday doesn't matter. To you guys, it does, because you get the heck out of here and shut it off. But for me, I never shut it off, so I'll be here. Actually, we're doing Kyle's suspension tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Yeah.
Is that a one-day project?
Yeah, we'll see. Something tells me he's going to be driving one of my cars home.
There's no instructions.
Yeah, we don't need instructions, Bryce.
No one's done it. You don't.
It's for babies.
Yeah.
There's no videos?
Just tell him to stay at my house. I can't drive him home because I can't even drive here, so I'm getting chauffeured around. That's going to be my next employee is a full-time chauffeur. I've already told you, everybody here that's gonna be their secondary job. Everybody's gonna be on call a certain day to drive a crazy eccentric boss around. Yeah, like I need to go to 2J. It's like 2 a.m. Like, man, it's not open. Oh, anyway.
Then we can sell all your cars, and we'll just get like a Rolls Royce Phantom.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I guess they'd all add up to that. So, anyway, what's going on here this week? We're getting this place one little baby step at a time, getting it dialed in. But, man, I washed my M3 last night, and the thing is the paint is like a horror show. It's like an epoxy floor in a regular guy's garage. Ooh. Yeah, it's time to get that thing fixed. So I ordered a trunk today. So I did what every rational lazy person does. Instead of trying to find a paint shop, I called IND and said, "Can you guys just paint match me if I send you like a piece of the car?" I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And so I just bought a new trunk because the genius is they probably had it done at the dealership, but they beta linked, which is like permanent glue. They beta linked the rear deck spoiler on there. So I would have had to paint the deck spoiler in order to get it done right. So instead, I just ordered a new trunk. The trunk was like $700, $800 or something like that. So I'll have a whole new trunk painted. Then I can polish the car and coat it. So we're really getting in deep. I'll talk about the GT3 RS today too. Tell you a little bit about what we're doing with that.
Lots of talk here in the chat about the backwards hat today.
Yeah,
that's good.
I like that.
Brace yourself. The hat's backwards.
I could go even cooler. I could go like this and go flat. And then turn it a little to the side. Is that better? Can't see my song. I have to wait for the delay. We'll stay backwards. We'll stay backwards. While you wear headphones, so you can make sure people can hear me. This is a cool hat, though. I forced myself to wear it like once every 2 months because it is pretty sweet. So.
All right, let's see. Carrie wants to know if you can ceramic coat a glass roof.
Yeah, you can. You could put the regular paint coating on the windshield if you wanted to, but it's really not designed for wipers to go across it, so you might end up with some judder, or it might end up wearing out quicker. But yeah, you definitely can. I put it on the what did I do? I did something recently where I just coated the glass with the regular CSL. But yeah, you can do that.
Let's see here. Detailing 101 wants to know, do you think you could fit 3 of the cars in the new side of the building, the RS, yep. M3, and M5?
Yeah, well, for now, but we're going to be putting some racking, some storage in that other side. So, but yeah, for now, I can fit one on the lift, one where the M3 is right now. I put a picture on Instagram, or the one that was the live stream photo, and then one behind. So the lift is here. For those of you who are listening, so the lift. For those of you who are watching, watch my hands, and then behind it, and then one sort of T-boned into it, so I could fit 3 of them there. But I don't want to do that. I want to have some room to do stuff.
Let's see. Jack wants to know, when can we expect new Wash and Talk episodes? Is that what you did last night?
Yeah, I did last night. I'm editing it right now. Since Mike's on vacation, I'm trying to get Bryce to get you guys are working on the Mosmatic stuff, the packages, so so I'm actually doing some work for a change.
Let's see. Matt wants to know, Matt with 1T. Do you know anyone in Georgia or Florida that could do paint and STEK or comparable PPF in the same shop? Is that something Billy does or no?
No. They don't do S-Tech. I don't know. I think you'd probably go to the S-Tech website. I don't know of anyone off the top of my head. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, he said paint.
He's in Naples. Yeah.
Bradley Nielsen is one thing to look into there, Matt. Let's see. Derek wants to know, what are your thoughts on the Metrovac wall-mounted vacuums and blowers for car drying? I haven't seen any vacuum or blower options in your recent OG garage builds.
I don't like those. I'd just rather use a leaf blower or go real deal and do a Mosmatic drying system, which I'll be doing in my wash bay. I don't know. I just don't like having a giant hose I got to lug around everywhere. You know, even if you do the long hose, you certainly don't like them in portable where I got to get it out. There's nothing I hate more than getting out my freaking vacuum. So I'm going to be chasing those solutions here soon. But they work. But so does a electric leaf blower where I'm not constrained. There's no hoses. There's no power. There's no weird 1950s looking vacuum bolted to the wall where I got to coil up some hose. This is an opinion, you know. An opinion based on some experience, but I just don't like it. You know, I bought a Metrovac, a Master Blaster, the 8 horsepower one with the dual motor in probably 2010, 2009, 10, 11, something like that, and I sent it back. It was like $320 or something like that at the time, and I was like, I just don't like this thing. I don't like dragging it out and having the hose get stuck on my tires and then the power cord and there's water everywhere from washing. So clearly you can mount it on a wall, but then you got a giant 30-foot hose you got to wrap up. I just hate seeing hoses. So I guess you could put a hose reel there. That could be one solution for you, do like a Cox hose reel. But yeah, I don't like them.
Did I hear you say earlier this week that you messed with the new Ego blower? Or were you talking about something else?
The 650. Yep. Yeah, I bought that.
Is it any good?
Yeah, it's just pretty much the same as the 580. So I certainly wouldn't sell your 580 to get a 650. Not that much different. It feels pretty much the same.
All right, let's see. Russell wants to know, the Hybrid Nano, just the polisher itself, does it come with the 12mm orbit? I didn't see it in the item description.
Yeah, it comes with I think it comes with rotary. You'd have to go back and look at the video. I think it comes with a rotary and 12mm attachment. I don't think it comes with a 3mm when you buy just the tool alone. I'm certain it comes with the 12mm orbit. I don't know. I don't think it comes with a 3mm.
All right, let's see. Jeff's Detailing wants to know, Matt, what model is that rigid shop vac? I have an old model myself, but find it to be too bulky.
Yeah, it sucks. No pun intended there. I did like what every normal, like this is something you would do, like just go to the store and buy one. Like I did no research, I just literally went there and just bought the most expensive one they had.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Then I'd take it back after I was done.
After you're done vacuuming the floor?
Yeah.
Would you at least clean it out? Try to make it look like you didn't use it? Yeah, I just went to the store and bought the whatever model it is, the 6 horsepower version, I think, and it works, but it's junk. So that I don't really care because I plan on chasing this at some point soon-ish.
All right, D. Mowry wants to know, when ordering Swiss tracks, is it best to use their website floor designer to determine quantity needed or email you or Kyle exact garage dimensions and pattern markings?
Yeah, the best way to do it, because we don't know what you want the colors to look like and all that, is to at least the smartest process would be to go to the Swiss Tracks website, play around with their floor designer, take a screenshot of that when it shows you how many tiles, and then if you really want us to, I would have us double check. Especially if you want to kind of keep it tight and not order a bunch of extra tiles. See, when I do it, I'm going to order 20, 30 extra tiles because I might want to use them in cabinets and things like that. And so you would want to take a photo, a snapshot of the design that you came up with and how many tiles, and then you'd want to send Kyle a just like maybe like a little drawing of what your garage is and what you're thinking, and then we'll double check it and make sure that everything looks good, like you did the right type of edge pieces and things like that, and then we'll send you a quote. So that's the most efficient way to do it, where you're giving us an idea what you're looking for. We'll come back with some feedback of, and Kyle's my proxy on this, and now he's become probably more of an expert of anything outside of my norm, because he's seen hundreds and hundreds of floors now, and then we can send you a quote if that's easier, or you could always just go to the site and click 182 whatever slate gray tiles or whatever you need.
All right, let's see. We got a super chat question here from Shaz29. How long should you wait before applying CSL on solution finish?
I'd probably wait 24 hours. Give it a little time to soak in. You might want to add a second coat of it. So I would wait at least overnight. So let's say you put it on at 5 p.m. Then next morning, like you did it on Friday night. Then come Saturday morning, I'd coat it then, and just to make sure you didn't want to add a second coat of it, because it will kind of soak in.
Yeah, he says the label does warn may degrade organic waxes and polymer sealants. I like to top my ceramic coat with bead maker, wondering if that's affected.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it'll be fine.
And then, do you have an opinion on or experience with Adams versus Reset? The Facebook group seems to love it.
Say what?
Adams, I don't know which Adams product he's referring to, versus Reset. Is that a CarPro thing?
Oh, he's talking Adams car shampoo versus CarPro's Reset.
Okay.
Reset is cool. It's not a very good. There's not a lot of lather. There's not a lot of suds. There's not a lot of activity from Reset. Reset probably is just an outside, probably like a pH of 8 or 9 or something like that. So a little bit more aggressive of a soap. It's good. I used it for a couple of years. I just found it unnecessary to use. I actually like using the Decon soap as more of a reset for a coating than actual CarPro Reset, just because it lathers up more, works better in your soap bucket, and you can just use that as your cleanup product. But your Reset's a good product. I just it doesn't wow me. It doesn't foam very well if you care about that. You'll get a nice even wet layer of soap, just not a lot of suds and foam from it. So it's not very fun to work with if you care about that.
All right, this question is from Paul Hawkins on Instagram. Matt, I recently had my 911 ceramic coated by a local detailer. Mm-hmm. He uses P&S coatings and recommended I use P&S Pearl soap when washing my car. Is it better to use the same manufacturer's car soap, or is Adams going to be just as good?
No, not at all. You won't have to do that. He just probably likes it and is recommending it. But yeah, you definitely don't need to use the soap, branded soap for a coating. You just want something that doesn't have any junk in it. I don't like soaps that have additives if I can help it. And so Adams will work fine. The Pearl will work fine. Basically any Geon Bathe or something like that will work fine. So it really doesn't matter. Bathe Essence, something like that could also work.
I got a couple questions here about polishers. 618 developer asks, what's the advice for someone picking up a polisher for the first time? Is getting a Rupes coming in hot, or just one progress to that, meaning buy the new Griot's G9 instead?
I would certainly, know me, I'd go for it. I'd buy the best. I'd buy the best that I can swing. And so you're certainly, from a skill perspective, it's not necessary to have any more skill to use a G9 Griot's versus a Rupes LHR 15 or versus a Porter cable. I mean, other than maybe long throw is a little bit harder to handle. I would actually argue that Rupes is probably better balanced than any other polisher on the planet, so it's going to be smoother, beat you up a little bit less. The only thing that might help you is to modify if it washer modded the Rupes, because the G9 probably won't. I haven't used it, but I don't think it will stall as much. The other thing to consider is, since you're starting out, is maybe you just go electric. Not electric, but battery powered. Maybe you just go to something battery operated and skip the plug-in version. But to me, the LHR 15 Mark III is the best machine. It's $450. You're going to spend a couple $100 in pads and polish. So you're going to spend $1,000 anyway. So saving $100 to get something that, or maybe $150 when you're going to go in that deep. I would recommend just go for it. You're certainly going to be able to figure it out. It's just watch a couple of videos. You'll look a little awkward and it'll feel awkward, but it's great when you're standing there in your garage by yourself. You can kind of figure it out. As long as you don't smack the backing plate off of something, then you really can't mess it up. It's kind of hard to mess up.
All right, Adam in the chat here wants to know, can you use a trolley jack on the Swiss tracks?
You can. Again, it just depends on what you're jacking up. If you're jacking up a Ford, F450, you're going to probably divot or dent it. But a normal jack, with normal size, decent sized wheels on it, is not a problem. If you really were if I was jacking up my Raptor, I'd probably want to put a metal plate down. If I was jacking it with like like an old jack with some really tiny wheels, but most of the lower profile jacks have pretty big wheels, then you shouldn't have too much of a problem with divoting or denting a tile, but you certainly can.
All right, Garrick wants to know, have you had any success with fully restoring headlights to a perfect swirl-free state?
No, I haven't. The way to do it is to clear it, and so you'd wet sand it, polish it, re-clear it, and then coat it from there. It can be done, but I've never done it really well. Every time I've never done the clear coat portion, but you really have to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be correcting it again in no time.
All right, JT says the Rupes isn't currently in his budget.
Mm-hmm.
Would a Griot's DA, be an upgrade from his 16-year-old Porter cable?
Oh yeah, definitely. The new G stuff is pretty nice. I like that Griot's puts an effort into knocking off Rupes at least. They at least put in some time and energy and try to improve things, unlike some other manufacturers. But that's a good option. I certainly don't think you can go wrong with that.
All right, let's see. Adam says, I'm going to be in Florida March 20th through the 27th. Could I stop by OGHQ?
Yeah, I should be here.
Come on by. We had some visitors from Sweden earlier today here, actually. Let's see, Matt, Chris, this may be a dumb question, but have y'all ever experimented with spraying anything on felt fender liners, like in GMs, to keep things from sticking?
There's not really anything you could do there that's so darn porous that I just don't see what could possibly work to improve that. In some sort of fabric coating or something, but I just don't think that's going to work. It's so porous. The whole point of it is to kind of catch things and let them drop out of it, so that it doesn't make noise back there. But I don't think you're really going to have anything that creates any decent amount of success in keeping that looking clean.
All right. Do you have any experience with McKee's products? It's strange seeing Ivan promoting them, even went on to say that N914 is better than O&R. Don't tell Kyle.
Nick is a friend of mine. Nick, who is like the right hand of Bob, Bob McKee, who, if you're not familiar, Bob owned Auto Geek for, got Auto Geek and then sold it to Vision Investments, which they own a bunch of different U.S. distribution rights. They own the U.S. distribution rights to Sonax and a couple other products. But Bob went out and started his own company called McKee's. And I've had these conversations with Nick. I mean, the bottles, there's just a lot of kind of there's the bottles aren't as nice, and it just doesn't get me excited to go try the products. But and Bob isn't a chemist. He just knows chemists. So their line has become really robust, almost to the point of maybe too many things. But it's on my list, and Nick's offered to send me a bunch of stuff to try out. I don't want to lead him on and tell him I'm going to spend all this time and energy testing out the products. I'm just not ready to get into product testing of an entire massive robust product line until I get a few other things lined up. But it is on the docket for something I'd like to play with.
Let's see. Brian has a question here that I know lots of people emailed you about this before. What's the next machine to consider after a Rupes LHR 15?
Yeah, then you would want an LHR 75E, and then from there, then you want the Nano. So if you had those three machines, you could do everything. In fact, I just sold a bunch of my machines because I just don't use them. I was going to sell, and I probably should sell the Melee and the Rotary, but I just couldn't do it. I got a little pack ratty on you there, and I kept those two just in case. I'm sure one day I'll get all fed up and say, you know what, I'm out. Get rid of these things. Get them out of here. Sell them. But yeah, those three. If you had a Nano, you have the LHR 75E, the 3-inch, and then the 5-inch. You're good to go.
All right, let's see. What is your favorite heavy cutting compound and type of pad?
McGuire's, not the heavy cut, but the regular cutting microfiber cutting pad is just like the industry standard. Thing is great.
All right, let's see. Already chatting about the hand washing thing again. It just won't go away.
It's not going to go away. I'm going to change the world here, Chris.
Your buddy.
Are they for or against?
I think the majority is for hand washing.
Yeah. Well, they're wasting their time. They probably also have a water bottle in their car right now that they haven't drank from in the last 2 weeks.
Funny. Yeah, our friend Jeff at Nike said he's sorry he's late. He was washing his hands.
Yeah.
More hand washing stuff. All right, let me go to one of these questions. Looking to buy a radar detector. This is one mess at a time.
Yeah.
And was going to go with Uniden R3.
Yeah.
However, I saw you switch to R7 recently. What was the deal breaker that made you switch?
Well, the R7 is now the evolution of the R3, in that when the Valentine 1 patents have expired, and so they're able to add directional arrows to it. I think it has a little more range as well. But yeah, the R7 is $100 more. So if you can swing the extra $100, you don't mind that it's a little bulkier. That's I think pretty much the standard for a radar detector right now. So that's why I'm kind of swapping my R3s over to R7s.
Let's see. Michael asks here in the chat, hey, Matt, for someone that enjoys detailing their own cars, would you recommend the Rupes or Esoteric training class? I'm good with a polisher, but looking to take my skills to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, I would do a Rennie Doyle and Esoteric. There's got to be some other trainings too, just versus, Rupes is going to be more, industry and product focused. And so, which, Jason Rose is great if you can go to it. So I would say you want to do both. That's the whole point, is to get exposure to different methodologies, right? And so, Todd's method at Esoteric is very repeatable for a DIY or even sort of a pro that isn't interested in doing rotary and high level stuff. If you can get into like a Kevin Brown class, or you can get him, I don't think he does really those very often, or you could get into another class would probably be good to get into if you're in the business, would be to go out to see Jeremy at Shine Supply. I haven't taken his training, but I guarantee it's probably pretty great. So if you're a DI, what did he say? Was he an enthusiast, not a professional?
Right. He likes detailing his own cars. He's good with a polisher, but just wants to go to the next level.
Yeah, the Esoteric's probably a good place to go for that. And you just go into it with an open mind that you're there to learn, and you're going to learn, what it is you need to learn, and you kind of you don't go into it and just do exactly what every trainer you go to says. You do what fits, and you just be a sponge. In fact, every training I've ever been to, all the trainers probably assume that they are the one who taught me everything, because I go in and just wipe the slate clean, and I don't go in there with my. This is many of you probably think this odd, but I go in there super ready to absorb whatever it is they're pitching, or not pitching, but teaching, and so I go into it without my baggage, without my, this is the way I do it and this is the way to do it. And so, every trainer I've ever spent any time with, it's not that I'm playing dumb. I'm just not bringing any baggage to it. So wherever you go, just go into it and just pretend like you don't know anything and let them take you from start to finish. And then just be as teachable as possible to get your money's worth. Don't go in trying to prove. This is what I see at a lot of trainings I've been to. I've probably been to a dozen of them. You see a lot of guys tend to get, they get a little competitive. They want to show what they know. Well, the trainer doesn't really care what you know. They want to teach you what they know. And so you want to go into it without any of that baggage if you can help it. So, like I said, I bet you every trainer that I've ever been to, every training I've been to, everybody assumes that they're the ones who taught me how to do it. On every training I've gone to, some of the biggest things I picked up were really minute details. Like I learned how to wrap a power cord on a polisher from Mike Phillips, which of course everybody freaks out about when they see it, when they see me do that, because they're idiots.
All right, let's see. We have a couple super chat questions here. Or one is actually a comment, I guess. First, the comment from Mr. Megacone, 4.99 pounds sterling, which, let's see, that's $6.37.
Oh, nice.
Who thinks Matt should take the Corvette to the Freedom Factory before he sells it?
Shoot. I could. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. Let's see. Mobility Today asks, hey, Matt, I had Ceramic Pro gold package installed, and it's freezing here in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
How long should I wait to first wash it as it's below 40 degrees?
I mean, by the time you got the car back, the coating would be pretty much set up, So, I mean, you can wash it whenever you want, I would think. You just with a coating, one of the things that really hurts it is that if you don't wash it often enough. You don't want to rub on it too much, but you also don't want to let stuff sit on there for weeks and weeks at a time, because then it'll start to develop contamination. So, yeah, you could probably wash it like a week after, or even sooner.
All right, Adam wants to know, do you think it's worth having both the long and short neck version of the Rupes Nano?
If you're a baller, yeah. I mean, I have each, but I'm not a baller. I just happen to do this for a living, so. It's nice to have two, mainly not so much for the long and short aspect of it, but mainly so that you can have a 2-inch backing plate on one and a 1-inch backing plate on the other. So if you're not opposed to just swapping out and switching out your pad sizes, then it's a lot of money. But now that the tools are available for $400 a piece, and instead of having to buy the whole kit. I'd absolutely love to have as many tools as possible in my tool kit, and I think that you will use both. But from the short neck's going to fit into an area of the long neck, it doesn't really work that way. Again, the short neck is more of a one-hand device. It's better for one-hand operation, and the long neck, you'd need two hands to operate it.
Let's see. We got lots of talk here in the chat about hat backwards Matt. Looks like he's ready to work. Looks like Fred Durst. Can you rap? And then Shane says, I guess the Fred Durst player, he does it all for the cookies.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, there's Fred Durst. He's got a red hat, though.
He's just another white guy.
Let's see. Would you say that your dislike of the Corvette is mostly because of the poor quality aftermarket companies or qualities intrinsic to the Corvette?
It's just the whole package. It's the whole thing. It's the aftermarket. It's the dealerships. It's the car. It's the interior pieces. It's it's just the whole thing. It's just it's lazy. Everything. Everything about it is just typical American. Typical. Nothing about it is exceptional, other than all the things that would matter on a piece of paper. It's really aggressive looking. It's really fast. It's loud. It makes lots of horsepower. It handles well. It has great lap times. All those things that don't add up to great. They all add up to, in order to get all of those numbers, they've had to sacrifice something to get all those things on a spec sheet to make it the best American thing, and that's a typical American way to do it. That we want to have a really great spec sheet. It's like you want to get jacked, but it's like you're jacked, but you can't run a mile, kind of thing. It's like, which is weird because the car has such great times and it's fast and it's a great performer, but it's just the sum of the parts, the sum of all of those great specs are just not great. It's just not a great car. But I get it, and I've said this too many times. I get why it's popular. I mean, just look at it; it's super aggressive. I think it looks a little odd, but times I drive up to it, I'm like, that thing looks freaking sweet. So, anyway, I really wish that I didn't do the headers, or I worked on the headers quicker, so I could be driving the car and experiencing it more. It's just such a big project to fix it, and I need to get on that.
What is in the pressure gauge on the Krenzla? Is it oil, glycerin,
It's
something
glycerin.
else? Yeah, lots of people, we get emails sometimes about there being a bubble in there, but that's normal. Correct.
Yes.
All right. Let's see here. I want to get to this question. From Reasonable Paul on Instagram. Matt, I've been overanalyzing garage cabinets for about a year now.
No, not Paul. He doesn't overanalyze anything.
He's reasonable.
No,
right there
Paul
in
is
his
the
name.
most unreasonable person I've ever met.
There are different things I like about different brands. When looking at Sabre in the OG store,
Yeah.
I came across this statement. Quote, in many ways, I like these more than my Sonic stuff. End
Yeah.
quote. Could you elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. The Sabre stuff this goes back to the same thing like the Corvette versus a Porsche or something. Like when you walk up to and you open a drawer, it just feels more stout. It's 18 gauge steel, but it's Chinese made, right? So it's a Chinese made, American engineered product. The fit and finish of Sonic is no question better. The corners are always going to be squarer, and the drawers are going to be cleaner, and it's going to look like it was precision built. Where Sabre, there might be like a blemish or like a run in the the powder coat. Rare but possible. The boxes they ship in feel very Chinese versus the European Sonic stuff, and so they're super stout, and so they took all of the great things and put it into one cabinet and cut out all the junk that you don't need. And so that's what I really appreciate about them. Is it's like a debadged car. They debadged it from all the goofy garbage that you don't need. Weird, like the prototype of garbage is new age. They just put every bell and whistle you could possibly imagine, but the sum of the parts is still a hunk of crap. So Sabre, in many ways, for the cost, now the cost has risen quite a bit. Because of Chinese import tariffs, especially on steel, and so they're so simple, and it really has to fit your area, your wall. You have to you really want to mount Sabre on the wall as well. You don't want to put it on their stands. Their little feet aren't very nice. So if you have the right circumstances. Sabre is actually really, really great. But money no object, I'm picking Sonic, But there are certain things, just grab the drawer, that, the glides are a little heftier, a little more stout. The heavier steel is a little more stout than even like, a Sonic. Even, it's up there with Lista without the Austrian drawer glides. Which you don't need because you're never going to load up a drawer with more than a couple 100 pounds.
All right. Also worth noting here that Unreasonable Paul said, also, I 100% agree with you on the bathroom hand washing practices. So you have that in common with him. Let's see. Matt, if you had to do a Rogue power rack in your garage to match, what color would you go with? Gray, blue, black?
Black, yeah. I do black. Black monster power rack. just stay away from the crazy stuff. That's what I would avoid, the green or orange or something crazy. But that's just my boring personality. Although I do have a blue backwards hat on today. Sometimes I can be cool.
David here says he binge listened to every single Dialed In podcast ever made, and now I don't know what to listen to when I finish the new ones. That's
This
good.
one.
Kale Black wants to know, have you eaten all the Girl Scout cookies yet?
Oh, they're gone. They were gone that week for sure.
Yeah. He did share them. He didn't eat them all.
Yes.
himself.
Yeah. how many boxes did I buy? I bought,
I think 12. His mom said you
I think it
bought
was like
$60.
No, yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. So yeah, 12. So I probably ate 8 of those. No, 7 of them.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably pretty close.
Yeah.
I had at least one full sleeve of Thin Mints. I know that. So good. Let's see. David, our friend David in Alabama, wants to know, how's the new shop coming along, and when do we get to see the new air compressor?
Compressor's been ordered. They're supposed to ship it yesterday. I haven't got any tracking or anything on it from Roman. So I'm getting a wobble piston, little 1.5 horse, little 6 gallon. I'm getting a silent piston, little 1.5 horse, 6 gallon. I'm getting the Silver 3, which is the 80 gallon, 15 CFM ish rotary screw, and I'm also getting the wall air. I'll have the first wall air in the country. The wall air is the little hose reel / compressor, which is going to be pretty neat. I think we'll sell a freaking crap pile of those because they're really nice and really, really, really cool little thing. I think they're like $320 or something like that. It's going to be sick.
Let's see. Jeff wants to know, are the hand washing signs up, or did you toss them?
No, I punted them immediately.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, they went straight in the trash after an Instagram photo.
Let's see. I work in an open floor plan office. Would acoustic foam or some deadening panels help with noise?
Probably not, because the ceiling is going to be your limiting factor. One thing that you could do is you could hang. There's a really cool from Uplift, actually. Uplift has, I don't know if they still have it on their site, but they have this cool like acoustic art piece that you could hang down from the ceiling to help with that. That's another thing you do. You could do a cloud. Like we have a cloud here, so we have acoustic panels on the ceiling. So what you could do, you could suspend those down, and that would really change, because most of your echo and stuff is coming from that. You want to hit your first and second reflection points, so do a little Google searching on first and second reflections, and then you'd want to do something from the ceiling. So if you could suspend, hang some acoustic tiles from the ceiling, that'll make a big difference. If there's a drop ceiling, GIK Acoustics actually makes a drop ceiling tile replacement. I'd done those in my office, my wealth management office. That made a pretty big difference. So you want something overhead, and then you want to deal with your corners if you can, and deal with your first and second reflection points.
All right, James wants to know, are we still expecting the forklift detailing series anytime soon?
Yeah, I do want to do that. Yes, what I'm working toward, which will probably never happen, is to get bored, where I'm looking for something to do. You think that'll ever happen?
I don't know. It'll be a little while.
Yeah.
I'm keeping a running tab, James, and everyone. I have a little list here of video
like
ideas that Matt says he likes.
47,000 videos to make.
We'll get to them eventually. Even though I'm not really interested in radar detectors, this from Luke, I really enjoyed your podcast with Vortex Radar.
Thanks.
Any plans for more podcasts like this?
Yeah, I should. I really enjoy doing them. I just hate when I have to do it. It's like I hate appointments on my calendar so much. And I just hate having to get it all set up. So I need a producer, where and even then, you've tried to produce me sometimes, and I just don't do it. Like our mandatory 9 a.m. meeting today.
Everyone was there except for you.
Well, then mission accomplished.
Meeting adjourned real quick.
Yeah, I don't like doing that. That's the whole point. You know, I didn't realize I was such a closet entrepreneur. I had no idea why I was always rebelling against the status quo. I just don't want to do it. I want to stay in totally engaged in whatever it is I'm engaged in at that moment. And that's where I provide the world the most value that I can. You know, if there is any value in it to whoever's watching.
All right, I'm Max, who's in Denmark, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Says, I just picked up my pre-order of the Mosmatic pistol and wand. Totally cool looking, nice feel. I will hang my old version on the wall.
Yeah,
Glad I made it there.
The new one is so sick. It's so good. I'm so pumped.
Let's see. Kevin McGee says, we all watch OG for various reasons. What attracts you to watch John from Forensic and Jim from Jim White? He watches both as well, he says.
Well, I watch off and on. Just depends on, like, sometimes I carry my laptop around and I'm looking for stuff to watch on YouTube. I haven't really been watching much detailing content as of late. I get kind of frustrated with all the bull crap, product stuff. That it's just I'm tired of the silicon dioxide bull crap. I just can't take it. And it seems like that's the thing. If you want to get some views, that's what you got to make videos on. And I refuse to talk about that junk. It so clearly will be gone in 2 years. That why even go there? Why even mess with it? And so I haven't been watching a lot of videos at all. It's just those guys are authentic. That it's very clear that they're purely authentic. I mean, I could be wrong. They could be putting on, but I've had a few messages back and forth with Jim White. He's just I think he's pretty authentic, And John is I don't think he could fake it if he tried. So I don't know. I find him very entertaining. So I think they even just like the intro of the video and the I just find him. I bet he's super funny in person.
Let's see. Zach has a good question here. He's looking to buy an 1122 TST. When will the new Mosmatic wand solution be available in the entire package? In that entire package.
I mean, it is now. I can send you 4 links, or we can send a quote. But I don't know. You tell me, Chris. Next week.
It's something we're working on, Zach. There's approximately 700 kits in the store, and many of them are affected by the new pieces. So we're working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's the project number 1 that we are in the middle of right now. We have to take new photos, we have to make new videos, we have to write new descriptions. Then we have to create, the inventory, the kit, the packages via the inventory management system, and then we have to put those photos up and put the videos up and write descriptions, and it's a huge project that is going to take us probably a month or so to get done.
Yeah, so Zach, if you need that tomorrow, just email Kyle and we can...
Yeah, there's no reason to wait. I mean, it'll take us 10 minutes to... Less than that, 2 minutes to tell you what you need to get. And we can either send you a quote or just send you the links to the 5 things. It's a lot simpler now because the gun, wand, and nozzles are all equipped in one kit. And then we just add one fitting, a foam cannon, and an inlet hose, and so we can create the package really quickly.
All right, let's see. Greatest Ever wants to know, is there any update on the first OG Summit and people you have in mind to invite?
No update. I want to finish, and the compressor needs to get in there. I need to relocate and redo the Prevost piping, and so I want to get it operational before I invite a bunch of people here with nothing to do. I don't know. I made a list of a dozen people or so, all the usual suspects you would think. We'll see if anybody wants to come, but I would probably go if I was invited to by somebody to do something like this, if they had a really cool facility like we happen to have here. So I was thinking the Pan, Wax Mode, John Forensic, Larry Cosilla, Jim White, what is his name? Sandro from Carcraft Detailing. Who else was I thinking about?
We have some nominations in the chat here.
I made a couple of Apex. Trying to think of who else I was thinking. Who's the car cleaning guru? Forget what his first name is. And that's all I can think of right now. Why? Who are they suggesting?
Danny Israel says, I vote for All Day Anthony for the OG Summit. I don't know who All Day Anthony is.
That's Anthony from the Rag Company. Yeah,
Okay.
we already talked about them, being the sponsor of it, if you will. By sponsor meaning just come and help me video it. Yeah, so I'll work on that when I finish the garage, maybe, if I don't lose interest in the idea.
All right, Nick says, hey, Matt, knowing that you're from up north, when you first picked up and moved down to Florida, how was that transition? I live in New Jersey. I'm planning to move to Florida at some point.
It's fantastic. I literally flew down and figured out where I was going to live, and then went back home and rented a Ryder truck and put all my crap in it, figured out how to get my Civic behind it, and rolled. And I've never for 1 millisecond that I ever considered leaving or going back and saying, man, this is wrong. Never, I could, not even a passing thought that I ever consider I would go back. The only thing I have considered is moving to somewhere like Denver, or considered moving to Auburn, or moving to somewhere in California. I have considered lightly, never really got anywhere with that, but thought about it, especially when I left wealth management. I was free to go wherever. I've considered moving back to Orlando from here, but I think we're pretty settled now. I feel pretty good about it.
I think your parents are happy with their move as well. They like it here.
Yeah.
They don't miss the snow. Let's see. Let me go to this one. I know this is a good one. From Ethan on Facebook. Did you get the new AirPods Pro? If so, what do you think of them?
I don't really like AirPods. Did I even have it? Yeah, I did. What did I buy a set for? Oh, I bought them for the iPad that I bought. So I was on a trip, and I was on a United flight, and annoyed that I had to, didn't have anything because they don't have a screen in the seat. And so I went to the Apple store in Las Vegas, I think is where I was, and I bought Vegas, I forget where I was. And I bought I think I was in California. Yeah, this was the trip, the McGuire's trip. The McGuire's and the one where I went out to do the P&S, where I went to do the smoking tire, and he stood me up that day. And I didn't go on the podcast. But I bought the iPad and the iPad Pencil and Apple Pencil, and then I bought the AirPods, and I used them like 3 times, and I sold them all. So, yeah, not really my thing.
Let's see. Jeff Jones wants to know, after cleaning all-weather mats with something like Adams Tire and Rubber, what would you recommend applying as a dressing that will make the mats look as new as possible without being slippery?
I would coat them with CSL. That's what I would do. Because everything else is going to, you put Pearl, or you put hyper dressing, or you put some other type of dressing, even like 303, is going to be slick. You don't want that.
Oh, here's a question I know you'll like from Ryan in the chat. What kind of receiver would you recommend to run multi-room audio for garage and home?
I like Yamaha, of all the Japanese receivers. The lessons I've learned over the years, a lot of the American stuff and a lot of the European stuff is almost always behind the Japanese stuff when it comes to like HDMI switching and a lot of the other digital type connections that you're gonna have to deal with and shortcomings of things from like Rotel or Macintosh or Lexicon. I mean, I don't think he's talking about these high end things, but I would get a Yamaha, for whatever you can swing. Work your way up the ladder as far as you can, and then decide do you want to run a separate amplifier Look at Emotiva for amplifiers. That would be a solid option. Also check out like Outlaw Audio. For your second zones, so the new receivers, if you get a big enough, stout enough one, you could reassign some of the amplifier channels to your separate zones, or you could keep your cost down, get yourself a multi-channel amplifier, and run your other zones from like Outlaw or something like that.
From Bill here in the chat, any news on Comet pressure washers availability without the added tools?
No, there's no. I haven't even discussed that. So we just got the new box that fits, and so I'm not going to press my luck yet.
We're down from 2 boxes to 1. That's
yeah. So that was a huge undertaking by Amos and the guys at Valley Industries to get them so that they can show up to you intact.
All right, let's see. Johnny Boy says, I have an awesome towel and I want you to try it. How do I get it for you to give it a try?
I don't know if I like that. The first question is it a giant, super heavy monster, 1,000 GSM like every other guy's pimping? If that's the case, then I'm not really interested. But 322 Oak Street, Lady Lake, Florida, 32159 is our address. But I mean, it's probably smart to send me things, but if you frickin' send me an email and start texting me and start following up with me, that's instant lighted on fire, And so if you want to run the chance, I don't know if he's selling the towels or not, but if you want to run the chance of sending me something, then just don't frickin' annoy me. It drives me crazy when these companies do that. Like, they drive me crazy when trying to send it to me, and then drive me crazy getting me to try to use it. Just send it, and if it gets you, it's like playing the lottery here with my crazy brain. I just send it, and maybe I'll like it. I'm trying to think of some things that it's very rare. When has anybody ever sent me anything that I absolutely loved? I mean, one would be the skin wedge, right? That was, my buddy Derek from Sound Emotion sent that to me. He wasn't trying to sell it to me. He just said, he was, just, hey, I want to send you something I think you might like. See, you always messing around with interior parts. Yeah, but it's pretty rare, and I don't think I'm being stubborn. I just, if something's great, you can tell it's great really quickly.
Yeah, so that address that he mentioned is on the store website if you want to check it out, and tape it to some Thin Mints, and it'll get priority.
Depends. That's also hit or miss. It depends on. Oh, Thin Mints for you.
Yes.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's probably smart. Yeah, that would be smart. But don't freaking send me 7 follow-up emails. Hey, have you gotten a chance? Have you gotten a chance? No. If I loved it, I'd track you down. Gosh, it drives me nuts.
We have a lot of stuff sitting out there now that's been sent here that maybe we'll get around to doing it. But
I'm not trying to be difficult, but if I didn't want it in the first place, then the chances of me loving it is pretty slim.
Let's see.
But who knows? I mean, if you got something great, then you can easily change my mind. I change my mind every freaking day, so I'm down for that.
Alkaline Toe Pat wants to know: have you considered or tried autocross before? Would be cool to see Matt, Kyle, and Bryce compete for the fastest time.
No, I haven't.
What is that? Is that like?
It's like you go in a Walmart parking lot and you drive around some cones.
Oh.
I don't know. It's just not my thing. I'm just not really interested in it.
All right, let's see.
But I would win, I'm sure. If I didn't win right away, I'd eventually win. That's what I do.
You just stay there in the parking lot until you beat the time.
Yeah.
Be there for
I'd
weeks.
buy my own parking lot and figure out how to win.
Mark wants to know: do you think you would ever get a Porsche GT2 RS?
No, I don't like those cars. The turbo just steals the joy for me. I mean, the GT3 is already plenty fast enough, so I don't. The GT2 would be great if you just had all the money in the world and you just use that as like your driving around town car. But I don't foresee myself ever chasing a GT2. I like the GT3 so much that it's the same car, just with different motor, so it doesn't. and some different aero, so it doesn't really make sense for me.
Here you go. Kevin in the chat said his hose storage plug. That was also something that he sent. That he liked.
See,
That's
yeah,
a good example.
that's fantastic. Yeah. So that's the way to do. But he didn't bother me and send me 57 emails and and what do you think? What do hey, I want to send something to you. Okay, cool. It showed up. Oh, the keychains.
Right.
It's just fantastic. So you don't need to. If it's fantastic, then we don't need to have this whole back and forth bull crap. There is no back and forth, just forth. There's no back. Leave me out of it. It stresses me out because this is why I'm rebelling. Is I feel obligated. I feel I'm empathetic with what somebody's trying to do, and then it's like you're putting it back on me. It's like the thing that really gets me was when someone says, can you give me some charity? And or this is my plight, and I want you to give me something, and I don't know how to respond to that. I don't like that. Leave me out of it. Just send it to me. A little note. Hey, you might like this. If you don't, that's cool too. And then that'll really get me going. To really think about it, buying it in quantity. It's funny. All the things I don't want, I get rammed down my throat, and all the things I want, they won't let me have. So I think we got prior though. Got to follow up.
Yeah, I saw that email. That's a good thing. Epiphany Detailing says, any idea when the skin wedge tool will be back in stock? It's going to be a little while, Epiphany. We're working on it, but our supplier.
Apparently, it looks like there's only one company that makes those things,
Yeah.
and we bought everyone in the country. It seems.
I've spent some time looking to find more, but there aren't any more to be had right now.
Yeah. We got to find, if anybody has some resources, find me the manufacturer of that. Figure out who makes that thing. I'll be real appreciative. I'll send you something cool. You can find me the manufacturer, because I'm just buying it from a wholesaler, from a distributor.
Let's see. Detailer/emailer Jeff in the chat says he wants to do an OG track day. And then Bryce reminded me you have to have a car to be able to do a track day. Unfortunately, he doesn't have right now. Let's see. Any chance, I think we touched on this briefly earlier, we could see vacuums in testing. For example, does the portability of a Dyson handheld outweigh the size and capability of a larger shop vac style system? I never used the wet vac option in my shop vac and been looking for something more portable and less cumbersome.
Yeah, I'm on that at some point. I'm going to get obsessed with that and take on way too big of a project and make it this massive thing that I never complete. But I'm going to do that real soon.
All right. So that was from Cody on Facebook. Let's see. Bag Dan, are they answering questions through the chat right now? No, we're not. Let's see. Joe on Facebook wants to know, do you have any thoughts on the Cox Reel's roller bracket to use with a hand crank pressure washer hose reel in situations where the reel is perpendicular to the wash area? If mounted to the wall instead of to the reel, you can still guide the hose on neatly while the roller guides it to your hand.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that I need to improve upon with that. So yeah, that's on the long list. You need to get me scheduled to meet with them on Zoom.
I'll put it on the schedule with all the
I'll show up for that.
employee wash and chats that you canceled on me. I wrote a note here because we were talking about trainings earlier, and Rupes, we've announced dates for that training before, and they changed because of some scheduling conflicts. So the new dates for Rupes training, tentatively, are August 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
So if you were planning to do that July date, just know that is no longer the date.
Jason Rose had something where he was out of the country or something like that.
Any updates on partnership with Milwaukee?
Yeah, crickets from there. I kind of gave up the chase a little bit because we were so up to our eyeballs in new products, but I think that's going to take me a while. The more clout I have, the more statistics we have, the more chance I have, but it's not. My initial efforts were thwarted. They didn't say no, they just don't respond. So, I don't know.
Adam wants to know what new products are coming to the store. So I brought up the new products page here on the store. We have a couple. We have a blue jumper hose available now for those folks who wanted blue instead of black. Krensler gear oil.
Yeah, all the Krensler maintenance items should be up soon. Right now we're focused on tweaking all the pressure washing stuff to include the new Mosmatic.
And then the treadwear, which you recently did the video about.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else. I don't have anything right. Oh, lifts. So I got to figure out Nussbaum and Benpack. So those two are. I gotta call both of them. I gotta stop. They've both said yes, and I've been so focused on getting the garage dialed in that I need to call them and make sure that they know that I'm not slacking on them. I'm just in the middle of preparing headspace to chase those.
All right, let's see. Riley has a keen eye. Do I see a new OG website behind you guys? That is a preview of the new website back there.
Oh,
Bryce put that up there for us.
that does look good.
Yeah. We were working on it, and the first version wasn't quite what we were looking for, so this is the next iteration. We're getting closer.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, we're getting close. The main purpose is to speed it up, so it's not so slow, and also to have much better menu systems.
Let's see. Mark asked a good question here. Are alligators and snakes in Florida overdramatic stories for people who want to move to Florida?
Yes.
Mostly, yeah.
I mean, it's been years since I've seen an alligator. I mean, years.
It depends on where you live and how close to water you are, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you lived on Lake Griffin down there in Ghetto Leesburg, there's alligators everywhere. But even then, I mean, snakes, we see them in our yard occasionally, but they're little baby snakes. We really don't have a lot of poisonous. Well, we have coral snakes, and that's about it, right? Water moccasins. But even then, I don't think I've ever seen one person. So yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking, you can find them. My aunt lives in Apopka, and she's had an alligator in her driveway a couple times in the past couple years, but
Yeah.
little ones. She's close to the water. Let's see. Oh, Jeff, I like this comment here from Jeff. I feel like Chris is the glue holding this big ball of crazy together. That's good. I'm going to put that on my resume. Let's see. What about the app? Do you have any updates on an app?
No.
Oh.
No. God dang. It's just, these guys are stressing me out. There's so much cool stuff. The real great thing is that every single day we get something significant done. Like, has there ever been a day in a week where, like, we don't make major headway on something outside of maybe the fallout from Black Friday? But even then, the fallout from that is that now we're responding to be able to absorb that in the future, with facility, with people, with technology. And so all of these great things, I want to do it all right this second, but I need to we need to try not to live in the destination of that and to do one little thing at a time as time warrants. Right now, Kyle and Bryce and Jeff are working on creating a much better workflow, much more automated workflow to respond to your questions, when you have technical questions. Again, we're working on evolving all of the packages to make them more understandable and to put the new, OG stuff in there. And then I'm focused on getting the other side set up, and that way I can, continue to focus on, products, and videos that I love doing, and and playing with cars.
All right, let's see here. This is from Refresh Garage on Instagram. Do you have any advice for pushing out YouTube content? What would you tell yourself 5 or 6 years ago that you now know today? Trying to be a bit more creative than the typical detailer stuff out there.
First, don't be creative at all. Speak your truth, if you will. It also depends on what you're trying to do. If you are creative, then be creative. If you're not creative, it's not going to work likely very well. And so when you get, when you make, goofy titles and things like that, it certainly does work in the short term. But what's the goal? What's the mission? So like in the beginning, I'm so glad with how how mine worked, and that I did it with absolutely no agenda. I was really interested in the feedback and the engagement. I was really interested in the ability to maybe create some friendships and to create not so much an audience and a fan base. It's more of a, just an exchange in value. People watching is valuable to me. Their comments are valuable to me. And then hopefully what I'm, putting out there is of value to them. And so when you chase, so you don't overthink it. One of the things that Brian Orr taught me very early on, he was talking about or talked about just shipping it. Eventually you have to ship the product. And sometimes it's not perfect. And I did that right from the very beginning. I made a video. I'm like, well, it was all out of focus in this video, but, I made it, so I might as well just put it up. What's the worst thing you can, of course, some people would complain, and I would yell at them, and they'd yell at me. Or the audio wouldn't be quite right. It'd be clipping or something like that. And I just ship it. I'm like, I made this video. I'm not going to redo it because whatever I was doing was already done. And so let me just ship the product. And so when I say forget the creative, don't be creative, just do it. If you are creative, the creativity will come out. I'm not particularly creative, so I'm not trying to be creative to try to, because the worst thing that can happen is you make a channel that you end up resenting and hating doing. Let's say it is successful, you end up doing something that you can't quit, that you hate, or you don't like it, you're not super passionate about it. And so like now, I'm making a wash and talk video, which I absolutely love. I'm out there editing myself, loving every second of it. It's fun to watch for me. And so I love doing it. And I love setting up the camera. I don't like setting up the camera, but I like the result. I like going and looking at how did it look? Did I get the exposure right? What did I say? Oh man, that's ridiculous. I can't believe I said that, but I'm definitely leaving that in. And watching it back it means that probably some other people will like it too.
All right, let's see. Any chance you will let Bryce and Kyle come to the OG Smokies meetup with you?
Yeah, if they want to.
There you go. Yeah, they got time off. They got plenty of time off to use.
Yeah.
Let's see. How's the ceramic coating holding up on the Raptor? Haven't seen it in a while. Just curious.
Yeah, it's surprisingly. We've destroyed that. It's been washed an average of once every 2 months, and we've put that on there 3 years ago or
Almost
something like
3
that.
years,
Yeah, it's still on there. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's on there, and we've torture tested it. So. I'm gonna refresh and strip it and start over at some point, theoretically, when I get down to 3 cars, which I have to decide if I'm gonna do that or not. You have to watch the wash and talk where I talk about that. I should have it up tonight.
Which one is first?
The M5 is gonna go first because it's the most complete and it's ready to go, and the Corvette. So I'm thinking about the possibility of doing and taking a huge risk here. So, I'm $125,000 into the Corvette, between purchase and all the parts and all the interior stuff. So, to sell it for $85,000 or $90,000, which I'd be, in great shape if I got that much for it. So it's going to sell for $80,000 or $90,000. I'm thinking about maybe doing a garage giveaway, going really big, and you get the Corvette with it. But now that's $200K, so somebody's going to hit with a huge tax bill. But could I come up with something creative to make that really, really highly participated in, so that I didn't, lose a bunch of money on it? I don't know. So I've got to get the car finished, and I'm not in any dire rush. So I want to get it finished and get it out of here so that I can make room for the GT4 and really enjoy the GT4 and not be thinking about it. But the M3 will be determined here when I get the paint dialed in. I just ordered the trunk from I&D today, so they're sourcing me a new trunk and going to paint it. I sent the gas cap cover up so they can paint match it. And so I'm just doing a whole new trunk, having to repaint the thing. I'll swap out the taillights and all that stuff and put the new trunk on. Then I'm going to deal with figuring out how to remove all the water spots, and then I'm going to coat the whole car, and then we'll decide, whether I sell it or I keep it. And if I keep it, I'm going to do carbon ceramics and probably get some R101s for it, and do a Bilstein B16, their EDC capable suspension, so I can lower the front a little bit. And then just really tweak and dial in, like the front driver's seat squeaks a little bit, so taking that apart to lubricate everything, and just really perfecting every little square inch of that car if I keep it over time. If I sell it, I know I'm going to want to get another one, but it may be a good thing to sell it, move on, and then I'll get to chase it again someday.
Let's see. We have several offers for the M3, because I know you've talked about selling that. Lots of people are sad about that.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody offered me $80,000 today, I'd ship it on to you, and you could deal with getting the paint correct. It's not a big deal, getting the water spots out and getting the paint corrected, and I'd send it with everything the way it's set up now. But everybody wants it, but they want it for $40,000. I tell them, freaking get lost. You got $50,000 in parts on that thing.
Nick wants to know, why did you choose G-Technic over Opticoat coatings? Just curious.
Opticoat doesn't look very good. G-Technic looks better, is slicker. I just like them better. It just looks better.
Did you get your money back for the M3 wheels yet?
What? Oh, no. The 1M wheels or the M3 wheels? The Titan 7s?
Well, it says
What's he talking
M3,
about?
so I can't keep track of all the wheels there.
I don't know what he's talking about. I sold the Titan 7s, but that was about it.
What was the other one that we had to file a little chargeback for? Whatever that one was.
Oh, yeah, the Clausens. Yeah. I just Amex got them freaking money back. Dude sends me an email. He's like, I thought we were working on it. I'm like, you don't respond to anything, for gosh sakes. I told him, here's what we need to do. When you credit, I bet we credit my $4,000 back, and because it's been 5 months and I've crickets. The only way anything gets done is when I call you, and then you scramble around, but then you never call me back, and I have to call you back again, or they don't even email back. They can't be selling that many freaking wheels. And so I wasn't confident that the wheels I was going to get were going to be good. So I said, well, let's do this. When you get a wheel done, when you get them done, let's give me my money back. And when you get them done, we can take as much time as you want. Then you can get back with me, and I'll pay for them. But until then, let's credit my money back. So yeah, okay, I'll get back to you. So it was 2 weeks, and I call him back again. So what's going on? Oh yeah, I'll email you back in 10 minutes. Nothing. Call him again. Yeah. Doing that. And so I freaking called Amex and said, give me my money back. So yeah.
And they did. That was very kind of Amex.
And then he emails me and says, well, I don't understand. Like, what's not to understand? You don't respond to anything. So, I mean, I let you float, $4,000 for 5 months, and you got nothing. You sent me some janky wheels. So, yeah, they're done.
All right, let's see. Where is that? Do you know the nearest gas station? That's a good question. Yes, we do.
That's your headquarters.
Yeah.
Racetrack.
Yeah, like a 10th of a mile that way. John wants to know, Matt, can you do handstand push-ups?
Yes. Kipping. If I get down to 210 and I can do them strict. It's hard though because I'm so freaking tall. I mean, they're hard for you too, right? I mean,
yeah, that's no fun.
Yeah, it's the little shorties, little gator arms, man. They just do basically an elbow bend. It's like a little elbow bend, but you got this huge range of motion, and not a strong affinity for being upside down at all.
I don't like that either.
Yeah, it just hurts. It took me probably 2 months just to be able to get up on the wall, and in the beginning you couldn't kip them. They were all strict. I'd be throwing pads and punching the wall and yelling. And, little Justin Green's freaking doing, 12 unbroken in inside of 10 seconds. And I'm sitting there on the wall. I'm at one failed, and then it takes me another 2 minutes to get back up on the wall. But I can't handstand and walk. I think that's
Ooh,
stupid.
those are even worse.
All of a sudden, it's like, oh, handstand push-up's not good enough. Now we got a handstand walk around the building. It's stupid. Let's make it so that no one can participate. That's a great idea. Let's do that.
Let's see. Oh, the Rag Company is here in the chat now, asking how the weather is today.
That's magical here. Yeah.
Yeah, 41 this morning, says Bryce. 63 out there now.
Well, it was junk this morning, yeah.
JT wants to know, do you have any advice for removing water spots from chrome window trim? Any product from your store that you could recommend?
Yeesh. You got to be careful with chrome. You don't blow through it. I'd probably just try like a finishing polish to see if that could remove it. You don't want to heat it up because it's chrome. You don't want to heat it up because you don't want the water spot. You just want to get the water spots out. You don't want them to. I guess chrome wouldn't expand and swell. So yeah, I mean, I would try something like a white pad, a Rupes white, and well, first try the gamut. Try some distilled white vinegar. Try that first. Try some wheel acid, like Meguiar's wheel brightener. So try that, and then then you can try some like polishing with like Sonex Perfect Finish, and then go to a compound and microfiber cutting pad. But you just want to be careful with that. You don't blow through the chrome.
Let's see. Greatest Ever wants to know, what parts were purchased for the Corvette? Thought you said a lot of parts were given for free in the video.
None on the Corvette.
No. I have a spreadsheet, Greatest Ever, with all of them listed out.
I got 30% discount on the LG Motorsport stuff. That was it. Not one free part.
That is true.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. I mean, I could have called and did the whole dance and gotten some free stuff, and I do get some free stuff for BMW, or it's not that I get it for free. It's like sometimes I get like the dine-in stuff. I pay like a modest amount, and then I get a lot of products because they know I'm gonna put in the effort and take videos and make photos and influence a lot of people in buying the parts. AWE sent me an exhaust for the GT3 RS. I've got to go out and make a video of flybys of that. But for the Corvette, I want to be able to say what's so, and so I'm off of the free train for pretty much everything. I don't like to do that. My friends at IND, like, I give them cost on stuff here. They give me cost. Same thing with Sean at PSI. I give them cost on things here. He gives me cost, and then obviously I'm making videos of the product and tagging them a lot, and putting my stamp on it a lot. So there's an equal exchange in value there. But a lot of stuff, it seems like a dream, like you can get all these car parts for free. It's just not all it's cracked up to be. I want to be able to say what needs to be said, and not just to save $800 on something.
Christopher Baker here in the chat says, Matt, how do you find such awesome condition cars?
They aren't always in awesome condition. In fact, I'm surprised at how lazy I get on that, and gotten on that, because in the old days, like, if I was looking for, I wouldn't buy a used car. But if I was looking for a used car, man, it would have been like this meticulous, annoying. I want to see all kinds of spreadsheets that I'd want to, climb under the car. Now I just know I can fix pretty much everything, so it's not as big of a deal. Because in the old days, like, I'd buy a car that I really couldn't afford, so I certainly couldn't afford to buy a $1,700 new painted trunk for the car, And so now I just kind of try to ask them some questions, and like the Corvette was way jankier than they made it out to be. So, buying a car like that, I should have flown up there. I should have put hands and eyes on it myself. I would have noticed the interior was all jacked up, and I certainly wouldn't have bought the car. So, yeah.
All right, Kyle.
I'm not so good with that.
Our Kyle says, yes, we want to come to the Smokies meet. He'll have a new suspension to test out. Hopefully you'll have it by then.
Yeah, that's cool.
Let's see. What do you think of the 6.2 C63?
Yeah. The 6.2 is the naturally aspirated V8, but it's the real boxy looking version. So what is it? The black C63 black is pretty cool. I considered one of those. The problem with those cars is they have MCT, so they have this goofy, wannabe double clutch. And so, and I even the C63, the AMG S or the whatever it's called, I don't think it I think it's only comes with this goofy old man manual gearbox or automatic gearbox. And so that to me takes the fun out of it. It's just not a good option. I mean, you can kind of get away with DCT, but just, I don't know. Those cars just, they also have the rear ends of those cars, from what I understand. I've never even driven a C63, so I probably shouldn't speak about something I don't know anything about. But I've just listened to Steve Dinan talk about them and how the rear end of those cars is just a disaster, and that's why they have no traction, sliding around all over the place with all that horsepower. But that's probably one of the best sounding cars ever built. What is that called? The W something, W219 or something. I forget the engine code is for that car, but W something. But those things sound incredible.
All right, I have no idea what I'm about to read, but you'll understand it. I'm reading this because it's from All Day Anthony here.
Okay.
Supercharged K20 EM1 or boosted B18C EM1?
Definitely not turbo. I definitely wouldn't want a turboed car for a Honda. Why would I want to take the great parts of linear power and all that great sound and make it sound like crap and have this major turbo lag? So I would supercharge. And so I would do, what was the first one? Supercharged
K20 EM1.
I wouldn't want a K20. I would want a B18. So I'd want a supercharged B18.
There you go.
Would be my choice. Anthony's trying to get me to still stay on the whole Civic train, which is still on the docket. Let's just move down the list from high priority to very low priority, but still something that I certainly would like to do.
Let's see. Alan here in the chat says, "Hi Matt, Alan here, all the way in Ireland." So hey there, Alan. That's pretty cool. Yoshi, Yoshi chimed in with a super chat question here. If you did a full suspension build on an E9X, what all would you consider doing? For a street-driven car. Also, here's $20 so you and Michelle can go out to a nice white trash fancy restaurant after finishing the Whole30 diet.
I didn't do the Whole30 diet, so how does he know about the Whole30 diet? He's probably he's watching the CrossFit Dialed In channel. The gym's starting to take off, by the way, which is great, even without me obsessing over it. So that's awesome. Who's calling me? Stop calling me. Get out of here. Charleston, South Carolina. Is that Prevost maybe? Suspension for E90 series would
street driven car.
Yeah, street. So this I want to avoid going crazy and going super aggressive. So what I'm gonna do is I dine in sway bars front and rear. You could do dine in Swift, something like that. So some sway bars help with body roll a little bit. You want to do the monoball mounts in the front, helps with steering deflection even on the street. So they're still urethane inside of a solid mount type bushing. So it really makes a pretty significant difference. I do adjustable sway bar end lengths, so make sure you have adjustable end lengths so you can set up your sway bars properly. I'm gonna do camber plates on top, so I want camber plates so I can adjust the the top camber. Rear, you really don't need anything camber wise. There's plenty of adjustment there, stock. I'm gonna do dine-in toe arms. I want toe arms because they're aluminum, and so there's a lot of flex in those. So I find that really helps with launching traction, off the line. And then you're gonna pick some sort of coilover system. I think if you want to be really tame and you don't care about lowering it too much, the dine-in sleeve kit is really great. It's really awesome. It's amazing on the M5. It allows me to lower a lot on the M5 that I can't on the M3. And so that's one option. That's the simplest and most basic option. Next would be the Bilstein B16. I think they're PSS 10s. which is EDC controlled shock. So it replaces the shock. It's a full coilover, allows you to lower quite a bit more and dine in. And then the other thing I'm considering would be the Öhlins Road and Track suspension. So I'm staying away from the KW V3s, which are a great option. I'm staying away from the more like JRZs or Motons or the more aggressive stuff. But that's what I like, keeping the car tame, because I've done this before. Like on the F80, I did a full JRZ RS2 Pro, and car rode like crap, So avoid doing solid bushings and all these things where it makes it ride terribly. So he's making me not want to sell my M3.
There you go. And then we had a couple when you were talking about letters and numbers. James said W162, and then Sveshen chimed in with W204. So maybe it's one
W204, yeah. Yes. I knew I was close. What did I say, W216? It was W something or other.
And then All Day Anthony, you got his hopes up here. It says, so you're saying there's a chance.
He's got to find me a car.
You want 12,000 miles.
I want 50,000 miles or less.
What year is this? What year
This would be
range?
99 or 2000.
Okay.
Electron blue only. Found a couple of nice black and red ones, but electron blue pearl. It's pearl. It's electron blue. Again, largely unmolested. And then game on.
All right. No, he says you must pick one here. 1984 911 SC or 2019 Miata?
84 SC. But only if I can do like a full restoration to it.
Oliver chiming in the chat here. He's from Norway. So we got Ireland, we got Norway. That's awesome.
Huh.
Seth is chiming in here in the chat. He came to visit us on Monday. That's our future OG pilot who flies for United.
Let's see what kind of trash can I talk about United.
You already did. Sorry, Seth. He was talking about earlier. Really enjoyed my visit to OGHQ on Monday. Just got home and got my lights and all the rest of the stuff I ordered. Can't wait to get the lights set up.
Awesome.
Yeah, he got with Kyle and they got those prime lights ordered. So that's cool.
See, the Seths of the world are the reason why I've decided to sort of not completely ignore comments on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, but to not make it a priority. I made it such a priority, like it's a first priority, that's like the first in my workflow. That's like the first thing I do is follow up on comments, multiple times a day. And then second workflow would be to follow up on direct messages. Third would be email. And then fourth would be, doing my day-to-day making videos and, playing with stuff, following up on things like that. And so I've got my priorities backwards. Because Seth is not commenting on YouTube, so the core people that are bought in, that really understand, that love what it is Obsessed Garage has become, that have supported it from the beginning, are generally, now I know there are some that are commenting on YouTube, but the core customer or client or relationship that I'm in is not making those, making multiple comments all the time or asking a lot of questions on YouTube. They're reaching out to me directly. They're reaching out to Kyle. They're reaching out. A lot of them know the chain of command. They're reaching out to you. And so I've made a very clear decision to just not make that a priority. And I won't neglect it, but the Facebook group is much more of a priority to me than YouTube comments, and I had it backwards. And so I'm resetting it to where YouTube and Facebook and Instagram comments are down the list significantly. And what I should do, what I've been thinking about, is I should assign somebody to follow up on the YouTube comments, not to answer and fight and battle, but to answer just very direct questions like, what fitting do I need for this? How can I buy that? Those kind of things. And not really respond to the, you're fat and ugly kind of stuff that doesn't really matter. Or the you're a charlatan, or you don't know what you're talking about, or you're a jerk, or this stuff that doesn't, it only bothers me if I respond to it. So if I just look at it and read it and just don't respond to it, then it doesn't bother me at all. I just move on with my life. It's when I respond to it that I'm back looking. All right, let's go. let's fight it out here with your stupid crap. I just want you to know that I know what you think, and what you think is ridiculous. So that provides nobody. It doesn't provide anybody any value, especially myself. And certainly not them, because then I never give them a chance to come around. If I go on attack mode and tell them they're stupid, which they are, then there's a large percentage of them that will come around once they understand what the heck I'm up to here, what I'm doing. So, yeah, that was a reasoning for why I'm not going to prioritize YouTube comments. So you won't see me, liking and responding to every single one like I have in the past for the last 5.5 years.
All right, let's see. Mobility Today chimed in with another super chat here. Thanks for the recommendation on the Ego 530. Got it for $99 reconditioned. Wish I could have bought it from you, and hope they allow you to sell it in the future.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I'd be selling so many of those. In due time, it'll all come.
All right, let's see. George in the chat here, and this I'm mentioning this because there's a follow-up here. Will the website allow for a user to have a favorites area, similar to how the Rag Company has? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then Brad Bacon, our web guy, said, just buy it. You don't need a favorites area, just buy it. There you go. The cart, that's the favorites area. You just put it right in the cart.
Yeah, we've got a lot. And I was talking to someone about our affiliate marketing, our affiliate program, where people could use Obsessed Garage affiliate code to get a commission back for selling stuff to their friends and family. There's so many things that we've got on the docket that we're working toward, and one day at a time, one improvement at a time.
Yeah, we do have a lot going on. And then Blend Mount here says, hi, OG team. You got any? You don't have anything that needs a blend mount right now.
No, the GT3 needs to get done. Yeah, I got to stop driving that thing around without a radar detector, and I'm going to get pinched. The GT3, John Clevin, my friend John, who owns Metropolitan Detail, he's also owns the U.S. distribution rights to S-Tech, paint protection films. And so the plan was to send the car down to Billy, and then Billy and I would correct it, and then Ryan would do the install. But I talked to John. John came and visited because he's here for the Seacourt Summit. What do they call it? I forget what it's, Verve or something like that. Corey calls it, and Verge. Yeah, Seacourt's Verge is their yearly summit, and John talked about sending his guys out to do it here, and then we would do the GT4 with Ryan, down in Tampa, because the goal is to hope to show Ryan how great S-Tech is, and get him to use that film as well, instead of just Suntech and Expel. So we're thinking about from the video perspective, so that I could have the whole team here and shoot like a really amazing start to finish correction protection series of John and his guys coming out to do it, and having them come and do the car here at HQ and bulk the whole car would be sick. So I think we're going to get that done. So I'm psyched about that.
Any more thoughts about another open house once the other side is done?
Yeah, I definitely want to do that soon. Probably once I get the air compressor done. So after Moderators Weekend, which is end of March, probably April. So we'll start thinking about that soon here.
Are you still planning on getting the M3 Dynon stroked?
I'd love to do that. Yeah, I'd really, really love to do that. I never heard back from them. So just like I never heard back from K-Tech. So, yeah. Yeah, it's hard to go and I'm going to spend all the money and literally sell 100 engine rebuilds for them by me doing all the work and doing all the documenting and then having to pay full price for it. It's just insane. I'm struggling with that.
All right, do you know of any coating that works on polished bare aluminum wheels? I used Carbon Collective ceramic wheel sealant and it failed within a month.
Optimum has one that's specifically designed for that. but it's pro only, so you'd have to go to a professional, an OptiCoat installer to get that done. But that's what I would do if I had those wheels. I'd pay the guy the whatever $750 or $1,000 or whatever he charged to do it. It probably wouldn't be that much, especially if you prep them. Probably less than $500, I would think, for them to just coat it for you. That's what I would do.
What does one need to do to become a moderator? Is that something where they reach out to you, you reach out to them?
Yeah, I would identify them and choose them. Right now we have a pretty good group, so I don't think we have any need at the moment.
And then the other question is, what actually goes on at a moderator weekend? What does that entail?
We'll work on some kind of project, or projects. Like last year we did the M3 brakes. We did I think we did started the intake on the 1M. We did all kinds of stuff.
What's the new section of OGHQ going to be used for? Storage for inventory or a temporary garage? Both?
Yeah, it's a garage, the videoing area, the where we shoot all the videos, the product testing and photos, and then we'll be putting 34 linear feet of storage. We'll be doing 17 feet by 12 foot by 3 foot wide storage. The racking that we have in here. So we'll be doing 2 of those. So a little bit of everything. I'll be putting my desk in there, so I'll create an office for myself, mainly so I can do unboxing videos and things like that there. But yeah, it's going to be the jack of all trades, and it's the garage, and then obviously people want to come and see all this, touch and feel all this stuff.
All right, we're about at that time. So one more question here. When will more videos be posted inside the Hex? So when's the next Inside the Hex video? That's a good question.
I don't know. We just posted a bunch of them, didn't we, here this week? Inside the Hex, I'm just telling Bryce and Mike, just post them. We don't have to. Did we put the gym video up yet?
I can't tell looking at Vimeo. I'd have to look in the actual Inside the Hex.
So if we haven't, we put the construction of the gym. I don't really have anything. We have some wash and interviews to do. I'll do a vlog next week as well.
Yeah, the last video was February 19th. That's the one with me washing the truck. And then there's a Hex vlog from February 24th of OGHQ.
Yeah, so we have the gym video to put up.
Yeah, the gym video went up on February 24th as well. So.
Okay, got it. And then I don't know if there's any other videos that we have to put up. I told them to put them all up. Don't wait.
Yep, they're all up. All of them that we have are currently up. Looking at it.
Yeah, so we'll put some more up next week.
All right.
I gotta make some.
Yeah, you gotta keep your appointments for the wash and chat with the employees. I'm gonna try that again.
Oh, did the Hex vlog go up? The Hex cast, I mean, the one where I was talking about.
No, I don't think that one's.
Oh shoot! Yeah, we gotta get that done. I did just discussing what I'm talking about, selling cars and all that stuff. The heck, gotta get that up. Bryce, come on. All right, we'll catch you guys on the next one.
All right, we'll see you next week.
I'm hungry.